Oscar here from ESBR Boxing. We are here for unfinished business. Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn, the rematch. I'm here with legendary boxing commentator Adam Smith. Now Adam, tragically there's only one place that we can really start, and it's the sad passing of Ricky Hatton. You and I spoke actually just earlier downstairs. We had a quick conversation about it, but I just want to get your thoughts on it. Obviously it's tragic news, not just for the world of boxing, but just for the world all over, and it's so tragic. I just wanted to ask you, when you look back on just the man, the character, his boxing and his legacy, what's the best way that you can describe Ricky Hatton?
Man of the people, just the friendliest fighter, the most accessible fighter, the most wonderful fighter that I've ever worked with. I'm pretty numb this week, to be honest. I'm finding it difficult to process it. Very close with Ricky, very close with the family. You know, the week after the Costas Hugh fight, he was at my wedding. Yeah, just difficult week. And look, my thoughts and prayers go out to Ray and Carol and Matt and Campbell and Fern and Millie and Layla and everyone in the Hatton family. I loved him. I loved his friendship. I loved his journey. David Kane, our cameraman at Sky, and I were there pretty much in his house almost every few days. I mean, it was a real adventure, and it was a pleasure. He was just a local lad. He loved being down on the estate with the boys in the pub, and he loved being in the ring, and he loved training, and he had a pint with most of Manchester, and had he took boxing very seriously, but he took life with a very light joviality, and he was funny, and he was infectious to be around, and he was just a wonderful human being, and I'll miss him terribly.
Such lovely words from you, such a fantastic tribute as well. And of course, as you said, you knew him as well on a personal note, and he's such a big loss to boxing as well, and just incredible. And just in terms of the fights and the bouts, that obviously the most, one of the famous ones with Floyd Mayweather, and when Floyd walked out wearing that United jersey, and Ricky, and just the fights that he had in terms of British boxing. Where do you think that he ranks amongst British boxers?
Well, right up there. I mean, he's one of the greatest fighters we've produced, maybe not the greatest, but certainly the most popular, along with Cooper and Bruno. Ricky Hatton took 30,000 to Vegas for the Mayweather fight. I mean, it just snowballed. It was incredible to watch. The Costas Hugh night was his crowning moment, and every one of us that were there will never forget that. One of the great moments in British boxing ever. And two-weight world champion who won 45 out of 48 fights, and really only lost to the two greatest of his generation in Mayweather and Pacquiao. So yeah, he'll be remembered as one of our finest, and certainly our most loved.
And just moving, you never want to move swiftly past the news, but obviously in the world of boxing, just over the weekend we had huge action. We had obviously Canelo against Crawford in Las Vegas, 70,000 fans waited in anticipation, such a huge bout. Obviously a fantastic victory for Terence Crawford. He makes history. I mean, the WBO, WBC, IBF, WBA super middleweight champion. I mean, he's broken all the records. What next for Terence Crawford? Who would you like to see him take on next?
I don't really mind. I think he deserves, a bit like Alexander Usyk, he deserves a rest, and he deserves every tribute that's coming to him, every bit of praise. He's a wonderful fighter. When he came over and beat Ricky Burns all those years ago, I never thought he'd achieve what he has. Multi-weight world champion. I thought he'd beat Canelo beforehand, and he did it in exactly the way I thought he would. He was brilliant. He was a masterclass, and he's an exceptional fighter, and I'm glad that he had 41 million watching on Netflix, and it was his coming out party, so I'm delighted for him. Canelo's a legend and always will be, but yeah, he met the better man on the night, and Terence Crawford, whatever he does next, I mean, could even go to light heavyweight, I don't know, but he needs a rest, and he needs us all to just pay a little bit of homage and respect to him, because maybe we, not in the boxing world, but maybe the wider world hasn't really done that with Terence Crawford yet, and it's time to.
And just as you mentioned there, in terms of Canelo, what now for him? Do you think it's time for him to retire?
No, I think it's Canelo's decision, right? He's had nearly 70 fights. I don't think he'll want to go out like that. I think he'll want to fight on. But that's one for him and his family. He owes nothing to the sport. He's been a pro since he was 15 years of age. We've loved his ride. He's broken pretty much every record. He's been unbelievable as a brand for boxing, and yeah, he owes us nothing. So it'd be great to see him back in the ring. Again, a bit like we were saying with Ricky, no disgrace losing to Terence Crawford, and I'm sure he'll want to try and exact revenge or fight on. And again, that's up for him and his family to decide.
And just as well, just moving over to Belfast as well, there's a huge bout at Windsor Park, and Lewis Crock obviously defeated Panny Dovan. Obviously, there's a little bit of controversy that people said in terms of the point scoring. I mean, do you think that Donovan was potentially robbed at all in that fight, or do you think that Crocker overall sort of really deserved it?
No, I thought Paddy deserved to win the fight, and I think most of the DAZN team felt the same way. There were people who picked Crocker, 2 10-8 rounds. He boxed a brilliant tactical fight. He was fantastic. I just thought that Donovan picked off rounds at the back end with his classier boxing. I thought he adjusted well. I thought the bell saved him in the 5th round. So, look, a fight of 2 halves, not much in it. It was Donovan for me, but take nothing away from Lewis Crocker, world champion, wonderful story, great guy, great for Belfast, and I'd love to see a rematch down the line.
Thank you so much for your time, Adam, and I just want to say on my final note, I think a fantastic, such a lovely, touching tribute to Ricky, so I appreciate it's very difficult to talk about it, but thank you so much for giving the time to talk to me tonight.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Thank you, Adam.